The producers of this radio show would like to express that they in no manner wish to support or condone the words and phrases, such as, ass, booty, yo bitch, the mayor is a dickhead, and big butt women in tiny bikinis, which are used in this radio show. However, in an effort to maintain accuracy and journalistic integrity, words and phrases such as, ass, booty, yo bitch, the mayor is a dickhead, and big butt women in tiny bikinis are necessary. But rest assured, these words and phrases, such as ass, booty, bitch, the mayor is a dickhead, and big butt women in tiny bikinis, will not be used without warrant, or in any gratuitous manner. The producers would also like you to know that all characters and events in this show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. The following program contains coarse language and mature themes, and due to its content it should not be listened to by anyone. Listener discretion is advised.
Perfect! Hi, this is the Ops radio show on Co-op Radio, 100.5 CFRO on your FM dial. We'd like to give a land acknowledgement of the Coast Salish Nations. Haichka Siam, Haichka.
Overdose Prevention Society. A place where you can overdose safely. If you're overdosing, lying panicked on the floor, don't worry, some of us have also overdosed before. Take a big deep breath. The ambulance is on its way. No need to panic just cause you can't breathe. We got Narcan kits and they're handing them out for free. OD, OD, OD. Overdose Prevention Society.
Alright, this is Ops Radio, Overdose Prevention Society Radio on Co-op Radio, 100.9 on your FM dial, CFRO. My name is Trey, and I'm here with my co-host, Smokey Devil.
How you doing, everybody?
So we're here in the lovely downtown Eastside of Vancouver, the finest place on earth. And we're here to give a little bit of a news update on things that are happening in the hood, beefs on the street, paint that's happening, lost loved ones, and so on and so forth. So I guess the big news that we just found out today was the passing of legendary Jack's team member Kelly Authors.
Kelly right there, yeah.
AKA Kelly Jack. Rest in peace.
Very awesome guy, man. I love him to death.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah. He's a big part of my life, man. Yeah. Him and I used to go on robberies and that together when we were younger and stuff like that. And
yeah, he got pinched for an armed robbery. There was someone released today in his memory all over social media. Or I guess, I don't know, everything on this radio show is pre-recorded, so by the time this segment makes it onto this radio show, whenever you're listening for your viewing pleasure, this might have been recorded a week from today, so keep that in mind. But on social media, someone released the story about Kelly robbing that corner store, getting sent to jail for it. Did you ever hear about that, Smokey?
actually, no, I didn't hear about that one. But I heard it was at the local place where he used to go to bum money every day.
Yeah.
And the old lady wouldn't give him any one day, and he's like, no, go away. He's like, what? I mean, she knew it was him too.
Yeah.
And so he just said, oh, whatever, and took the mask off, and the cops saw him walking out of the place, and they arrested him right there and then, right?
Yeah, a bunch of good Samaritans beat him up, and
yeah, that's sad.
sent away for a bit.
But I mean, also on the other half, you gotta admit that he had a lot of charisma, though. I mean, he used to be the kind of guy that would walk into a party or an after-hours club and women would fight over the guy and shit. Remember?
Oh, the very first time I met Kelly Jack was when he got released from jail for the armed robbery. There, he showed up at
Deacon of Walks.
Yeah, he showed up at Murray Acton's house from the Daglow Abortions. He showed up at Murray's house, 657 Langford Street in Victoria, which is no longer Murray's house. I'm not giving out Murray's home address, but that was his house, was 657 Langford Street at that time. And Kelly shows up and he's like, "Yo, I'm Kelly Jack." And I was like, "What's up, dude? I'm Ashtray." And he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I just got out of the pen on a bit." He's like, "I really need to go see my mom in Nanaimo." And I was just like, "Yo, you're Jack's team?" I was like, "Take my car, dog." I gave him the keys to my Honda Civic. And I just met the guy, but someone told me that, I could take a leap of faith on Kelly, and it was really important that he go see his mom, and he drove my car with no license all the way over to Nanaimo, and saw his mom as soon as he got out of William Head Penitentiary, and then brought my car back about 7 hours later, and was ever so thankful. And Kelly was that kind of guy, right? Like, give you the jacket off his back, you know what I mean? Help you out, and we lost a good one today. And he died in the Colonial, in room 610 in the Colonial Hotel. Sadly, he had a bad leg infection. He got out of the hospital, and seems like it got the better of him in the night. So rest in peace, Kelly Jack.
Yeah, I'm really gonna miss him, man. He was an interesting guy, man. He was like wild motherfucker. I really miss him, man. Like, he was really cool. I was always happy to see him,
Yeah, Kelly was always smiling.
He was always a tough guy too. He was a tough kid, like fucking. He used to look. He was a mixture between Brad Pitt and another actor. The way he used to look. I mean, like, as I said, he'd walk in a party and girls would be like, "Holy shit, there he is." He used to date one of the girls from L7 and that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. He went on tour. He went on the road with No Effects and stuff like that too. Like, cause the sound man guy knew them all and everything else. And he went on the road with them for a while. And yeah, he was a good guy, man. I mean, it's still like setting in that he's gone, but
Yeah, it's super sad.
I mean, a lot of people are gone now, man. It's just like, there's so many people are gone. It's just like it's hard to even get upset now,
Yeah.
But
the other one we lost just the day before that on March 31st was Gerry-Jenn Wilson from JP5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
She died in a house fire.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Gerry-Jenn Wilson, JP5.
She was really cool, man.
Yeah, and then the last band she was in the East Vamps. Yeah. Rest in peace, Gerry-Jenn. Rest in peace, Kelly Jack. Pretty sad day for the Vancouver punk scene. These things come in threes, so let's hope that this time it doesn't, and we don't lose someone again. So
yeah, man, it's enough of that.
Enough of that shit.
Too much of that. But anyways, what we're gonna do is so anyways, what else do we have to talk about here? Last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, lately the streets are getting really rugged too. Like, people are getting stabbed left and right and shit too. There's majorly punks. Like, the streets are different now. And in the last couple of months or whatever, things are taking a weird turn. Like, I mean, nothing's happened to me ever, but all I hear is bad reports of people like getting taken over. Like, people just walking on the street and they go,
yeah.
Blah blah blah.
This is the Morgan Davis Minute with your host, Morgan Davis.
Okay. See, I think that what probably would have been the best thing to do is that I should have sent you the interview, and then both of you could have written out your responses, and then we could have just recited them, and it would have been a lot easier.
What's wrong? You can't organically host the thing?
No, it's not that I can't organically host it, it's just that it's going to take way more editing. My name's Morgan, and I'm here with 2 members of the Drug User Liberation Front. Who are you, and how did you become involved with the organization?
Well, my name is Jeremy Kalicum, and yeah, I'm an organizer with the Drug User Liberation Front. I'm also a public health student doing my master's at University of Victoria. So with my background in public health and my activism with drug user groups and organizing, that's how I came into DULF, and it was formed as a kind of umbrella for people to be able to organize under to do the radical stuff that they can't do as their regular organizations because of the liabilities that they'll take on or funding risks.
And then my name's Eris Nyx. I am the executive director of the Coalition of Peers Dismantling the Drug War, and I am also an organizer with the Drug User Liberation Front. I think largely what's gotten me involved is having to respond to death consistently to the point it feels like I'm no longer the same person I once was, and watching the color leave people's faces as they come close to departing from this abyss of a world. So here we find ourselves trying to take necessary preventative action, which looks like giving away free and clean drugs.
So, what does the organization hope to achieve politically and within the community?
I mean, the political kind of aspirations of the action is really to just increase the public awareness and, knowledge around what people who use drugs need to really be safe. And this dialogue can really be driven in really negative ways without intervention. It's this kind of separatism or otherism to put people who are marginalized into this kind of sphere where other people decide what's best for them. And it's been an overwhelming call that from people who use drugs and drug user groups that they need clean drugs. And that's the political goal, is to increase the palatability of providing people who use drugs with the drugs they need.
Why are you shaking your hand at me?
I feel like the sticker is too loud.
So for context, we're actively packaging the drugs we'll be giving out right now. And I think that the powers that be, who shall not be named, aren't doing is providing those substances to people in a safe and, accessible manner. What we do have are people getting this I can't believe it's not safe supply program. They're having their carries taken away, which means that, if you're getting Dilaudid or whatever, your doctor will take your drugs away. And I'm like, what happens when you get your drugs taken away? You turn back to the street supply. Everything is about we don't have the means to not turn back to the street supply of drugs, which is highly volatile and highly dangerous. So what we're hoping to accomplish is to change the public perception, one, and also force the hand of chance and make government actually listen to what's been said over and over again for the last 5 years. In BC, how many people died in the last year?
Over 1,700.
Okay.
Yeah, over 1,700 people. So we're at a death rate of about 5 people per day. It's rather obscene, I would say.
It's more than COVID at this point.
Oh, it's much more than COVID. I think, you know, and I don't want to talk, COVID is real and is a threat to people, but in terms of existential threat, I'm like, if you're a drug user, the probability of you getting fentanyl, if you're using hard drugs, you know, cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, maybe fatally overdosing is so high, you know, COVID casualties pale in comparison.
And touching on the point of, you know, what we hope to accomplish community-wise, I think a big component of this is showing the community that they can self-organize and they can provide for themselves and keep each other safe in a way that the government can or will not do. And we've always had the solutions, and we're demonstrating that within community you have all the resources you need to be able to keep each other safe. And we're sticking our necks out first to demonstrate that nothing will happen to you. It is beyond unacceptable for the deaths to continue like this, and it's beyond unacceptable for the community to have to be the ones to respond, but this is where it's at, and there's no other choice.
And now back to Smokey and Trey, news and events.
So Smokey, what murals are you working on right now?
Right now, I'm still just finished off that one. I was gonna finish off that one you and I did.
Yeah.
With the missing girl there with the 10 grand, remember?
Yeah. Chelsea Poorman.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool and everything.
Yeah.
You gotta admit, man. Like, and then all of a sudden, like, I didn't know what the politics were at that. I thought we were doing a really good thing, you know, the two of us. I mean, this girl, this good-looking young lady, been missing for about a year, and so I thought, why not, you know? Ashley and I here, we financed it. We put our time in there to put the art up, and all of a sudden, this one girl was ringside the whole time, crying away, blah 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 blah, saying, oh yeah, she's so thankful that we're doing it and this and that, and you know, etc. And all of a sudden, boom.
Seems like there's a discrepancy between Chelsea Poorman's family.
Yeah, they got a lot of politics on the inside.
Politics on the inside,
they're
but
attacking each other.
The most important thing, though, is that despite that we find Chelsea.
Yeah,
so
it's not about them.
Yeah, if anyone knows anything about the disappearance of Chelsea Poorman, she went missing September 6th off the Granville Strip.
A year ago.
Almost 7 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
Coming up quick.
Please just come and check it. Give it a good.
You can give an anonymous tip. No one needs to know.
No one needs to know nothing. Man.
You know, no more stolen sisters. No more missing and murdered Indigenous women or girls.
That's right, man. Forget about it. Enough is enough.
Bring Chelsea home.
And we don't need another one of the kind of guys walking around. Like supposedly there's been like quite a few people missing in the last little while too. So they say that in America, like at any given time, there's 30 to 40 active serial killers walking around any time in America. So that's because they have a lot more people than us, right? So in our categories, it lowered down to like a couple hundred, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. But to be a superhero, you don't really have to.
Yeah. So Smokey, what tunes are you listening to these days?
I listen to a lot of a whole bunch of different shit, man. Barry Manilow.
Put Barry Manilow.
Yeah. No, I've been listening to a lot of like, different stuff. I've been listening to let me see. Where should I begin? Like Shakewell. I like Shakewell.
Shakewell.
Five Ways. Yeah, I like him. I like.
Hey guys. We're just doing a radio interview right now.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of Skeletal Remains.
Skeletal Remains?
Yeah. Discharge still, of course.
Discharge?
Yeah. I've been listening to...
Anything local you can listen
Simple
to
Plan.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Don't forget about Simple Plan. And don't forget about the G Unit.
This is Simple Plan Free Zone.
Yeah, G Unit. Don't forget about all the G Unit stuff.
All right. Well, we got to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for doing the Downtown Eastside News Weekly updates here on Ops Radio at 100.9 Co-op Radio.
And see, our show will be coming up quite often in the future here, and we're going to make it really something. We're going to make it really something to be available for all the people. We're going to let you guys know what color of dope is bad for the week. For stuff like that.
Yeah.
And things that we can get done and how we can come together and try and get things done, right?
And please forgive us. We did this interview in a portable washroom because everything's pre-recorded now. We're not allowed in the station, so we have to pre-record everything. So we were interrupted there by a bathroom attendant.
That's some guy trying to put his dick through the glory hole.
There's no glory hole action in this interview. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Hey, it's all about promoting safety during COVID times.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Thanks. May the force be with you.
And now back to the Morgan Davis Minute with Morgan Davis.
There is an event that's happening on April 14th, which you're all organizing. And can you maybe tell us more about the event and what to expect?
I mean, primarily we're giving out free drugs. I think it's a celebration of our community's resilience in the face of all this horrible, post-traumatic stress-inducing violence that's being done to them. So it's both part celebration, part action to illustrate how you operate a working Compassion Club model of drug distribution and informed consent model of drug distribution. I mean, it's very low scale, but we are trying to put in the public's mind's eye that this is the future of harm reduction. And, to reduce the deaths in our community, we're going to need an operable model, which we don't have right now. So this is a first step in that direction.
Yeah, there's been pushes to provide people with a safe supply of drugs before. Like, this has kind of always been, at least in the political realm, if not in the public realm. And the main kind of, arguments coming from the government are mainly around responsibility for continuing to pay for it. They don't want to be responsible to keep paying for people's. So we're saying, don't. We'll pay for it. We'll figure it out. And if you just stay out of our way, we won't have any problems, and we can solve this problem.
Yeah, I mean, ideally the government would pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean,
ideally, the government would do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, the government will pay for it if it's medical, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes people just want to get high, and that shouldn't be a crime. And the reason that's a crime is systemic racism and historical racism done to communities of color. The prison industrial complex goes hard against indigenous communities and black and brown and, Asian folks. And all the drug laws don't stem from any kind of scientific research. It stems from systematic racism. First, if you want to look at the prohibition of alcohol, it was directed at indigenous people. Then, the prohibition of opium was directed specifically at Chinese folks who were coming to British Columbia. And then, prohibitions against marijuana and cocaine followed soon after, targeting black and brown communities. So really what we're trying to take a stand against is a massive system that does violence primarily, along racial lines and then subsequently towards other marginalized groups.
And you can kind of see that bisect reemerging as these kind of topics around, legalization or acceptability of drugs continue to pop up. Because people are beginning to, accept substances, especially, psychedelic substances more. But really the difference is marginal. And, it just depends the type of person who's actually taking it. And that seems to be really driving the political changes, not safety or, any science base. It's just perceptions.
And not only that, but the people most at risk of dying are, marginalized folks. I believe the statistic is Indigenous men aged 29 to 50 or 29 to 59 or something are most at risk of overdose death, but they're most at risk of incarceration as well. We're taking a slice at a bigger picture than just, getting people clean drugs. I think this is a statement about carcerality in the prison industrial complex and the medical industrial complex and the addictions, mental health industrial complex. Things that people want to think they, aren't participating in or whatever. People in government, people with power, but ultimately at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, somebody's got to do something actively to stop what's happening, And unfortunately, despite the fact we don't want it to be us, those people are us.
And this hasn't been the first year that you've done something like this. There was an event last year that, would you say, was successful, or?
Yeah, there was an event, I think it was in June of 2020, and in that event we gave out cocaine that was tested, and people knew what they were getting. And part of the issue there was that there was no issue. It was a really great event. We gave out cocaine, and it's laying the space for this kind of bigger campaign. It was the first step, and we're going to continue to push forward this until we really begin to save people's lives, because we know what this is going to be. So yeah, that first event was testing the waters. They seemed warm. The second event is really putting our foot in and saying, hey, we're actually getting organized now, and this is going to happen, and you're going to have to either step in or let it happen, and that is where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, step in or let it happen or arrest us. We're, not barring the fact that what we're doing is controversial and in many people's eyes morally egregious, but I just think that, public morality needs to take a step back for a minute, because when so many people are dead, I'm like, are we really doing anything wrong? We're doing what needs to get done, and I think that's the most important message that we could put forward.
Yeah, for sure. So before we go, is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to or say what's up?
Yeah, shout out to my mother. I'm sure she's very proud of me. And also a big shout out to, all the drug user groups and activists who've, kind of laid the groundwork for us to be at where we are today.
And drug dealers who also have laid the groundwork, and, all the people that have died who unfortunately, took their deaths to motivate this action. And some of the old heads like Mama Ann Livingston,
yeah,
for undyingly supporting our renegade efforts.
And a big shout out to Canada HQ, #1 supplier of all things DULF.
I don't know if that's a good idea, man.
You can edit that out.
We can edit a lot out, can't we?
But everybody knows there's sites where you can buy drugs. What the cops don't know.
Now would you like to explain that process? Okay, anyway, well.
There's this thing called the dark web, and it's very sensual.
I think it's an important part of the event to, say that the reason that we feel like we have to do it is that we're the only ones that we know who really have access to this, way of getting clean and more or less reliable drugs.
All right, well, thank you both so much for taking the time to talk to me, and really looking forward to the event on April 14th. Don't miss it.
Breaking news. Dr. Bonnie Henry finally steps up to answer some of our questions about safe supply and the crisis of prohibition. Will this local hometown hero hit the grand slam, or will she leave us out to die like lambs? Find out next.
Thank you, and good morning. It is always a tragic day when we hear that more people have lost their lives to drug toxicity and to overdose. We are, as you know, facing two health crises, one for the past 8 months and the other for many years now. And the record numbers of people in our community, our families, our neighbors, our brothers and sisters who are dying every day is at a record high. My hope and my condolences go out to every family member, every mother, every father, every brother, sister, friend who has lost somebody in the last month. This tragedy continues to worsen, and more families have lost their loved ones. And we know that the impact in our community has been equally as tragic. It's also dismaying to know that all of the work that we have done around responding to COVID-19 has been a contributing factor to the numbers of deaths that we're seeing from the toxic drug supply here in British Columbia and across Canada. We know the toxicity of the drug supply is extreme, and we see that in the results from the coroner service.